You're welcome once again to Official King's Speech TV. It's Erika with you, always in the building. Today, my students and I have decided to go on a national tour. As we all know, we call it an excursion. And our first point was the Osu Castle. That is, we all know it as the Christianborg Castle. We came to the Christianborg Castle to come and learn about some of the things that happened in Ghana during the 19th or the 20th century. So here are the students of the Nyanya no Kakraba AME Zion A Basic School at the Osu Christianborg Castle to have an educational tour. Come join me as we enjoy this tour together. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that anytime we upload, you'll be the first to get it. As we entered the premises, we realized there was a very beautiful, big, spacious garden. Wow, I was so amazed by the garden. It was graced with a lot of trees, plantations. I don't think I'll be able to mention all the names of the trees, but I think I realized I saw a neem tree. I think I saw a raffia plant. I saw flowers, and you can see the students are so excited coming to this educational tour, in there being in pairs in a queue, moving towards the direction of the tour guide. So you can see the garden. The garden is so beautiful. I love this garden. And this garden also holds events such as weddings, parties, funerals, anything you want to do, you can come and do it on this premises. Wow, Ghana has a lot of historical places. See the way this place is glittering and shining with history, culture, heritage, and you would get all these at no other place than Official King's Speech TV. So don't forget, my people, don't forget to always like and share this link, or share for me, so that people can watch and also enjoy and learn from it. This is the old building of the Osu Castle. This side is the old building of the Osu Castle. This is where the old administration took place, and here the only president who used this block was our former president, the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. He was the only person who used the old administration. All other presidents used the new administration or the new block, and that is in front of the old one. So this is the old administration where only our late Jerry John Rawlings, or Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, used it, and he used it because of security purposes. We can see some cannons here and other people's also here, also coming for this tour. Please like and share. This is the new administration. You can see we are taking coverage of the new administration. The place is so big, so nice, so beautiful. I would encourage each and every one to also try and come for this tour, because we are enjoying. We are really enjoying. So don't forget to also come and enjoy. This is the new administration. This is the gate of the new administration, and this is a lovely peacock I saw. I wanted it to open its feathers, but I tried and tried. It didn't open its feathers. So maybe you might be lucky on your trip. You might get the peacock to open its feathers. For those of you who haven't seen one before, this is a peacock. A peacock is a kind of bird with colorful feathers, and once they spread their feathers, wow, you love the scenery. So this is a peacock. I didn't get it to spread its feathers, but I hope you will anytime you are able to come for this visit. So without much ado, without boring you with a lot of talk, let's all go and see as the students enter into the premises and enjoy the tour. Thank you so much.
Are you listening? any noise, I either walk you out or I close the door and leave you in here. Choose your choice. Okay. So this is the dungeon where the slaves were being kept. So as I said, we have 12 of them here. All the rooms you see behind the staircase, they're all dungeons. The dungeons always come with the inner one and then the outer one as well. More like chamber and hall. They needed more spaces. That is how come they made it that way. So as I said, it served both purposes as the dungeon and then storage room as well, depending on what is kept in there. So maximum where we are, maximum of 50 people were kept in each. So 50 in here, 50 in there as well. Once they are here, they are in chains and shackles also. Unlike today, you have your washrooms, different from your bedroom, your bathroom, whatever, dining. They did everything right here. So they eat here, poop here, blood stains, vomit, you stay in it. So between 3 to 6 months, this is where you'll be. There's no way you're going to go out. The doors were always closed. That's not the original doors you see here. They've been changed as well. So the doors were always closed. Here becomes very dark. The only source of ventilation and light was through the hole at the top there. So when it rains, that's when rainwater comes from there to wash the excrete and everything away. So as I said, between 3 to 6 months, this is where you'll be. Most of them died before the ships arrived. Some also become infected due to the conditions in which they were being kept. There's the latrine where they were supposed to poop, past their stool. Okay. But due to the crowded nature, they being in chains and shackles, you are the far end, you can't get to here. Meaning you have to do it and be in it. So if it doesn't, raining is seasonal. If it doesn't rain for water to come from the top there to range your excrete, meaning you stay in it until the ships get here. So they separated the males from the females. They were not mixed together.
Silence.
Approximately 100,000 slaves were transported from Christiansborg alone to the Danish West Indies, which is now known as the U.S. Virgin Islands. So St. Paul, St. Thomas, and St. John's. That was where the slaves from here went to. Is there any question before we move on?
If you have a question, ask. Madam, please, you said shackles. What are shackles?
So more like chains. Chained to their legs and then hands as well. Are you all good? Yes. Okay. So when here became the seat of government. Hello. When here became the seat of government. Hey.
Who is that?
So when here became the seat of government, we had most of the dungeons being turned into storage rooms. Okay. That is how come we have some things in there. Due to your number, we can't go to the smaller one. We have other dungeons here as well. The rest we can't visit because it's not safe enough. When you enter some, you see there are shelves in there. So people were keeping their files in there. Whilst we had our presidents here. Are you all good? They all built a wooden structure, more like a storage place where they were keeping their goods in there. Okay. Like their commodities like gunpowder and all. They were keeping in there. Then 1659, the Danes came, purchased the land, making it legal. Then they were the first to use stones to build. So that is how come it's called Christian stone. That's the meaning. Are you all following me? Yes. I'm going too fast. So 1661, when they moved in here, it was just trade in gold and then ivory. Later part in the 17th century, when there was the influx of sugarcane plantation. When I say influx, something like there was the abundance, okay? They needed people to go and work in their sugarcane plantations overseas. So that was when the slave trade started in the 17th century. But when they came, it was just trading gold and ivory until the slave trade started. So they were here trading until 1679. The Portuguese were back here again in 1679. They added a chapel. Apomus were also here. They are Ghanaians occupying the eastern parts here in Ghana. They also defeated the Danes and stayed here for a whole year, 1693 to 1694. The British were also here in 1850 after the Danes sold it to them. So they moved their headquarters from Cape Coast, made here their headquarters in 1877. They were ruling us from here until Ghana gained independence. Before the Jubilee House, you know where the seat of government was? Where? I heard a yes. Please, where? Where was the seat of government before the Jubilee House? Yes. Yes, please clap for me. Okay. So right here, okay, we had our presidents residing here. You all know
the
Dr.
answer
Kwame
again.
Nkrumah, very first president.
Say the answer
He
again.
first maintained here as a seat of service. That's why we are saying that. So he lived here. After him, we had a couple of military officers. They all also occupied here. You know JJ? So he lived here the longest, 19 years in total. He lived here. We also have Atta Mills. He was the last president to have lived here before 2013, during John Mohammed's time. That was when they started using the Jubilee House till date. Are you following? Yes. So when we enter, we have different things to see. Where I'm standing, this is the main courtyard. You know a little bit about slave trade. So this is where the slave market was taking place. We also have a number of dungeons as well. So all the rooms you see behind the staircase, they are all dungeons, which also serve as their storage room. So based on what is kept in there, it can be a dungeon or a storage room. We also have the chapel the Portuguese added, and then the Queen's room as well. So Queen Elizabeth, you've heard about Queen Elizabeth II, who is slaves now. So when the Ghana gained independence, yes. Okay. And then when did we attain Republican states? When did Ghana become a Republican country? Yes, 3rd July 1960. So Queen Elizabeth was supposed to come in 1960, hand over to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, very first president. She couldn't make it. She came here a year after, which was 1961. So we have a room she slept in while she was here. We also have Rawlings's office, that's JJ. He was our longest serving president and the only Ghanaian president to have the old castle as his office. And all the other presidents that were here administrated from the new castle. So the new castle, one shot of the Black Gate you came to, that's the new castle, added by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah after we attained our independence as well. So after we are done with the inside, there's a staircase that will take us to the seaside. You've heard about the door of no return? Yes. So it will take us there. That is the last exit from the castle and then the African soil as well. So before we head into one of the dungeons, as I told you earlier, not everything wasn't built as what. So that is how come you hear me saying 1661, but we have different dates attached to them as well. So the entrance, you saw 1790. So that was when the entrance was made. So those are the back. Can you tell what do you see there? 17 what? Yes. And then we have C7 there. The C7 is a sign for C7. So that's have MCM. Can you take a look at the top part? We have MCM XRI. That's 1912, added by the British. That's 1921 and 1950 also here, or added by the British when they occupied here. 1850. Are you all good? Okay. So as I said, this is the main courtyard where the slave market was taking place. The slaves are not only Ghanaians; they are from different parts of Africa as well. Can you help me mention some African countries? Yes. Yes. Any African country?
Don't you know African countries?
Yes. South Africa. Okay. Yes.
Hey, why can't you speak loud?
And then Senegal and then the others as well.
Hey.
So, as I said, they are not only Ghanaians, they are from all the parts you made mention of. Once they get here, they are all tired and worn out. So each and every one of them had to be stripped naked here for inspection. The inspection is done so they separate the weak ones from the strong ones. You have to see if you are strong enough before they can move you to the dungeon. So the weak ones, they separate them to treat them for a while. When you don't recover and you die, you are being thrown into the sea. There's nothing like burial. Okay. So after the inspection, there is branding. Have you heard about branding before? Yes. Yes or no? Hey, you said yes. I looked at your internal.
Branding, even our uniform is a brand. They have branded you. They have given you a mark.
Oh.
Okay. So branding. Each and every slave merchant, okay, they all had their own symbols. So each and every one who puts theirs in hot fire. The metal is a metal which is being put in hot fire, placed against the slave scale. More like a tattoo. This is done for easier identification. So once you're a slave, you enter here.
You are talking.
There's no way no one knows you, your name or whatever. You've lost your identity, so no one knows you by your name, whether Kojo, Kwame or whatever. So they had to branch them. So as you're a slave, you can get more than 5 brandings. Okay. From where you're coming from, you have. When you get here, as you're going, you can get as well. So the branding is done for easy identification. So aside the branding, different commodities were also in display there. So from West Africa came minerals like the gold, the ivory, and then from Denmark came refined goods like the textiles. Can you help me mention some of the other commodities? We have gun, textiles, what else? Gunpowder. Yes, mirror. Now, yes. Who can tell me what barter trade is? Yes.
Exchanging goods for goods and services for services.
Does it involve money? Okay. So barter trade is the exchange of goods for goods, as we said. So the humans were also commodities for them. So they exchange them in the form of barter trade. So after the inspection, the branding and everything, that is when they moved them to the dungeon. No, the ships were being transported. After everything, when the ships are not yet in, that is when they move them in. So we are going to enter. Please, as you go in there, no noise. All your phone touches should be off as well. Let's go in there in pairs. Let's go. Fatima was the last president to have used it in 2012. 2013, that was when they used the Jubilee House till date. Are you all good? It's not safe, so we can't go in there. There have not been any renovation yet, so it's not safe to enter. Let's continue. So Queen Elizabeth used this room in 1961. As I told you, she couldn't come 1960 when we attained the public president. So she was here 1961. So this was the room she spent in while she was here. It used to be bigger than this, but part of it has been used as a maritime office we have over there. You all know Achimota Senior High School? Yes. So it was built by the British governor, Sir Godwin Goddesman. So during 50th anniversary, we had King Charles here. What is the relationship between King Charles and then Queen Elizabeth? Who can tell me? Come again?
Yes. What's that one?
King Charles is the husband of Queen Elizabeth.
Yes. He is the son of Queen Elizabeth. Yes. So mother and son. Okay. So Queen Elizabeth used in 1961, and King Charles used in 1977 during Achimonte's 50th school anniversary. Yeah. So mother and son occupied here, just the two of them. No one else has used this place. Not even our president as well. That's the balcony. Some things have been changed, just like the bed sheet. Okay, that's not the original, but the bed is original since 1961. The tiles are first used to be wood before being changed to tiles. Which year did I say Queen Elizabeth used this room?
1961.
And King Charles?
1977.
Are you all listening? Yes. So as I said, though the castle is about the days, different people also had their share here. So we had the Portuguese here in 1679. They had access here when the Danish governor, Johan Ulrich, got killed by his assistant, Pegamo. He sold the place to the Portuguese for 36 pounds of gold. They came to raise the walls higher and then added the chapel. So the chapel was added by the Portuguese in 1679 when they had access here. So when they came, they changed the name from Christiansborg to St. Francis Xavier Castle. The chapel also bearing the same name. They were here briefly, 1679 to 1683. By then, they ran out of money, so we had the Danes coming to compensate them, so they evacuated from here. The Danes then mortgaged the place to the British, and then they redeemed it in 1689. So up until 1689, they were trading until 1693. So remember I told you we had Akomus here? Yes. So 1693, Akomus had also access to this place as well. So that's a picture of Asemeni from Akomu. Akomu people occupy the eastern part, as I said earlier. They were the warlords of these coastal areas. They were warriors, very powerful people. So they wanted to, they had conquered parts and they wanted to take over the castles. So Asemeni came in here working for the Danes as a cook, more like a spy. He studied them for a while, gathered enough information. When he gathered enough, he then left to his town, came with 80 military men who came in disguise. Okay, they pretended to be traders to come and buy guns from the Danes. So unknown to them, unknown to the Danes, these people came with hidden gunpowders. The same guns they bought, they used the same guns to kill the Danes. He and his people, Asemeni and his people occupied here for a whole year. Okay, 1693 to 1694. Unfortunately, when he took over, the slave trade continued. You are aware our own people were also involved in it at a point in time. So this is an example of that. So he continued, collected taxes from the people and all for a whole year. After a year in 1694, we had the Danes wanting to get the place back. So they started negotiating with Asemeni here. He decided to hand over the castle to them after they paid him 50 marks of gold. He handed over to them, but he took the keys to his hometown. So currently, as we speak now, the original keys to Christiansburg is in Akomu Field, so it's part of their royal possessions. The same way you have, here is a tourist site, they have a small museum here where they can go to visit as well. When I'm going to his town as well, there's a statue of him there with a bunch of keys to show that he was the first black governor of Christiansburg. He was also from their town as well. Someone will ask, how were his people able to conquer the Danes? So by then, a lot of Europeans were dying of malaria, yellow fever and all that. And then their military men were mostly 40, and then most of them had already begun due to the illnesses. So he and his people had easy access to this place as well. Who is a Presbyterian here? Any Presbyterians here? No Presbyterian. Okay. So this was where the Presbyterian Church of Ghana started. So 1828, pastoral missionaries came from Switzerland to start preaching the gospel. First 4 missionaries came, they all, unfortunately, they all died of malaria within the 3 years they were here. Other batch were sent, 3 of them, 2 died again, leaving 1 person. He settled in the mountainous areas, that's in the eastern part, the Crupon, if you have been those parts. That is how come when you go there currently, there are lots of Presbyterian schools and churches over there. This was also where Asamoah, our last president who lived in the castle, this was where he fellowship. That is how come we have some drums here as well. The safe outside was used by the Europeans while they were here. We are not sure of what they were doing in there till now. This was where they also officiated the marriages between the white people and then the African people as well. So their offsprings, who we mostly term as mulattoes, this was a school for their mulatto kids as well. Mixed race, some would say have castes. Okay. So that was, you've heard about mulatto before. You know where mulatto is? Yes. So this was a school for the mulatto kids while they were here. Is there any question before we proceed? During Sir Godwin's first time, the British government. You heard about him? So it was during his time, that was when the office was added. He first used here. Later on 1981, we had our very own Ghanaian president, Life Lieutenant Henry John Rawlings, decided to use it for security reasons. Yeah, why he used to be a military ruler. Yes or no? Yes. So 1981, he came to power through a military coup d'etat. He overthrew a civilian ruler called Ruler Liman. Took over from him 1981 through a military coup d'etat. So he used this office for security reasons, meaning that while he was here, he could see all the way to the first gates. Those that can you see all the way there? Yes. So that is why JJ chose to use this office. He was the longest serving president for 19 years. Okay. 11 years military, 8 years as a civilian ruler. So 1981 to 1992, he ended his military ruling of 11 years. Then in 1992, he stepped down for military. As I said earlier, the others administrated from the Newcastle. So one shot of this luggage, that's the Newcastle. So they all lived here and administrated from there. Only JJ lived here and administrated from there. Are you all good? So in the garden, please, the teachers, you can come closer. The garden is called helipad. Hey, why are you all going? Are you interested in what I'm saying? Yes. So the cemented portion is serving as a helipad, where a helicopter will be. Okay, it's a spot for helicopter. He was also a pilot in the airport, so when there is danger. He was also a mulatto, half Scottish, half Ghanaian. Mom Ghanaian from the Volta region, and then that Scottish. Is any question before we question? To fire and things for defense and defense.
Is this too much?
No, and now it's just for touring purposes. It's not used as a church currently at all. It ceased to be a church after Atamil's time. So after him, this place has not been built. So let's talk about the garden we have there before we go through the door of the return. So the garden which is there was done by the British. So it's a beautiful garden, but it comes with a sad issue. Please, are you listening? Those murmuring, please. So it's a beautiful garden that comes with a sad history. It used to be the home of the locals here. We call them Uswalata. Okay. The indigenous, we call them Uswalata. So we believe they migrated from Nigeria to settle here. I don't know if some of you have heard that we Ghanaians here refer to Nigerians as Alata. Yes. So we call them Alata. And then the word Usu, when you go to the Igbo tribe in Nigeria, Usu means outskirts. So Uswalata, people from Nigeria, believe they migrated from there. Please pat the middle. Pat the middle. Pat the middle in case someone is coming. Pat the middle. Okay. So they had their thatch houses. Okay, you know how in the olden days they build their homes and all that, right? Like how the Northerners build their homes, the thatch and all that. They had theirs there before their king decided to sell parts of the land to the Danes to build their castle. We had also people there. The Danes were also there. Just laughing. What's going on here? Okay. So they sold parts. 1803, the Danes, that's Denmark people, they were the first country to have abolished slavery. I wouldn't say entirely because the rest of the slaves they couldn't ship off. Before the abolition, they started a plantation of tamarind. You know tamarind? Yes or no? But you know tamarind and the drink? Yes. And then the top. Yes, so it's the tree that the process is into the tamarind drinks and all that you have. So we still have two of the trees in existence there. So as I said, they went into plantation, not only here, also Salem, different places as well. By 1840s, they realized that the plantation wasn't yielding profits as compared to the slave trade. So they had less goods in the storage room. They were out of money as well. So they then decided to sell the place to the British for £10,000. That was when the British moved in here in 1850. While the British were here, they introduced a tax. That's 1 shilling per person for Uswalata, Tertianes, and Burmese to pay. People didn't understand why a stranger will come in their own land and then demand taxes from them. So So 1854, since the people refused to pay, there was a bombardment of Osu people. They had a ship called HMS Watch. They had to fire, destroy the people's homes and everything. So after this was the people to be further away from here. You all know the festival the Ghana people celebrate. Yeah. That's what? The small festival. And then you all know a shrine as well. There's a shrine in the far end in the garden which belongs to the Oswalaka. So during their festival, they're allowed to come here. Since this was the original home, before the British expelled them from here, the shrine is there for them. They come here to pay homage to their ancestors by pouring libation, performing rituals and all during their more festival. So whether president used to give or not, they are still allowed entry. The shrine is still in use up to date. So after they expelled them, the garden was done by the British. The very first tree that was planted there was a neem tree in 1894. The neem tree is originally from India. Now you can find it across most African countries. It's more like an immune booster for us. We use it to cure many illnesses like malaria, common cold, fever. During COVID, most people also use it in their homes as well. Currently, people are also allowed to use the space. If you have an event, whether birthday, party, weddings, you're allowed to use the space. That's if you pay as well. So let's head to the door of no return. I will need just a cue, one line. Okay, one, just a cue. I need a teacher in front. Fix yourself, please, the teachers, fix yourself in front, middle, and then the back as well. Parents to hurry up. When we get down, they are not there. We start without them. The door of no return. Okay. The staircase we use is in a spiral form, so they can count the number of slaves coming down. So the exact same way we came was the exact same way the slaves were coming, just that they were in chains and shackles as well. Branch out of here to be the last time you get in touch with the castle and then the African soil. So smaller boats in front, bigger ships in the middle passage. When they get to, so they use the smaller ones to convey them to the bigger ships. When they get there, they have people inspecting the slave ships. That's because some slave owners overload. For example, you are supposed to take 300 slaves. It took more than that. Probably took 500 instead of 300. After the counting, the excess, they're being dumped into the sea. There's no way they're going to bring them here. So as I said, the slaves, they are not only Ghanaians, they are from different parts. And most of them were from the inlands, where they've not come across sea before. So definitely they can't swim, they can't bring them here. And the reason why the slave merchants overload the slave ship to wherever they are taking them to is because the number of slaves you take there will determine the amount of money you get. So more slaves means more money. So when you're able to maneuver your way there, meaning you get a lot of money. That is why they do that. There was a case called the Zong massacre. I'll tell you something brief about it. Later when you go back, you can go and research on it. So Zong, Z-O-N-G, and then massacre as well. So there was a British ship called Zong, leaving Ghana 1781, taking the slaves from Ghana to Jamaica. Along the way, there was shortage of water. So in order for the crew members and then the rest of the slaves to survive, they then decided that they had to dump some slaves alive, more than 130 of them, into the sea alive. Because there is no way they'll survive without, with all of them being in the ship. So they had to dump them in there. So when they took the rest to Jamaica, they went claiming for cargo insurance. So it's part of business. They wanted the people to pay them for the slaves that they had dumped, in addition to the ones that reached them. But they pay according to the ones that had reached them. So they refused. Then they took the people to court. They lost the case 1783, which made people aware of the transatlantic slave trade. People didn't have much idea of it back in the day. So it raised abolitionist concerns and all that. Have you heard about the year of return? Anyone here who has heard about the year of return? Year of return. Anyone? No one. Okay. So in 1619 was when the first slave ship left Africa to America, Virginia specifically. So 1619 to 2019, that's marked 400 years. So in 2019, we had a Ghana government initiating the year of return, where the Black Americans, that's the diasporans, are allowed to return to Africa. So in 2019, a lot of Black Americans came down here before COVID happened. 2020, there was a similar thing called Beyond the Year of Return, where this will be held every decade as well. We are not sure if it will be held on, so we are just waiting. Probably 2030, that's when we'll know if it will be held or not. So we also have the Emancipation Day, which was generally celebrated in the Caribbean, that's Jamaica and those parts, to mark the end of the chattel slavery in the British colonies in 1834. So Ghana was the first and only African country to have joined in the celebration. In 1998, to reaffirm that the Black Americans can return to Africa now. So we have 3 people, 2 from US and then Jamaica as well. They're now buried at Asemanso, okay, when you go to the central part. Their remains were brought back to be buried there in their own home. So since they were brought back, now the door of no return is known as the door of return. Since we can go back now, then they will return home as well. Where we are coming, you saw a tunnel through here. Yeah. That's called the Rista Tunnel. There was a Danish slave merchant, his name was Rista. He built his home about 600 meters away from here. Okay. He had dungeons in his home where he kept slaves in there. He did that and then built an underground tunnel that will link his home to the castle here, so that when the ships are ready, he can equally match them from his home to here, where he can ship them up through the door of no return and then also transport them as well. An earthquake happened here in 1862, which affected most parts of the castle, including his home, Rister's home. Okay. But the dungeons are still intact. When you go to Rister, ask of Rister House in Kusu. Just like how Engman, he also has descendants here. Okay. So they are also living in the house, but when you speak to them, you'll be allowed to have a look at the dungeons where the slaves were being kept. So after the earthquake, that had to be renovated. Back in the day, there was nothing like cement and all that, so they had to renovate that. Back in the day, initially, it was supposed to lead into his home and then back as well. But after the earthquake, it's blocked. Please, any questions before I start asking you my questions?
They say, which country was the port located?
The
Port.
Is it the port that they had? It's in Britain. So it's their case. The case is about the ahead. The short wall. That's a shrine for the
okay.
Then the big tree we have over here, the very big tree.
The shrine was
The shrine is the wise building short wall over there. So they
wise
still
building
come
short
here.
wall. What you mean?
Far ends. The trees have kind of covered it, but it's down.
So we can't go there.
No, they still use it.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's
Which people use it?
The Oswalata.
Okay.
So it belongs to only Oswalata.
Okay.
Only Oswalata people are around.
Sister, trouble maybe one.
So you can.
Same applies to us. We have a company bus that takes us home. Okay, so this is our transport yard. Do we understand? Yes. Okay, so behind us is our head office. Our head office. Okay, and then we have our headquarters right behind the head office as well, but from here you can't see. So the head office takes care of both ports. That is the Tema port and then the Takrady port. Do we understand? Alright. So my name is Vanessa and I'll be your tour guide for today. Okay, please don't call me madam. Please don't call me madam. Thank you. My name is Vanessa. Vanessa? Yes.
Relax.
No, relax. I said Why? There's Vanessa here.
Yeah, Vanessa is in our bus.
What is Tema Port? So Takade Port was built in the year 1928. Was built in what year?
1928.
By Sir Frederick Gordon Godgesberg. Okay? I didn't say Michael. By Sir Frederick Gordon Godgesberg in the year 1928. Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. So Takade Port is the smallest port we have in Ghana. Compared to Tema Port, it is the smallest. Although it is the first port in Ghana, it is also the smallest port in Ghana. And it was built in the year 1928 by Sir Frederick Gordon Godgesberg. Okay? Yes. And then Takade Port is into export only. Please keep quiet and listen. I'll ask questions. It is the smallest port in Ghana. Okay? Okay? Yes. And then they do export only. They only export goods to other countries. That is the only thing they do in Takade Port. The reason being is because you know what materials are found in that region, right? Right. If you don't know now, you know. That is why they do only exports. So now we move to Tema Port. That is the port we are in now. So Tema Port was built in the year 1962 by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Okay? It was built in what year?
1962.
By Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, yes. And it is the largest port in Ghana. Okay? I'll show you around and you will know that it is the largest port in Ghana. Compared to Takade Port, Tema Port is the biggest. And also compared to West Africa, it is also the biggest port in West Africa. Okay? So yes. So it was built in 1962 by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and we deal in both import and export. We do a lot of import more than export, although we export, but there is a lot of importation than exportation. Okay, good. So this is the security department. We have our own security. I hope you know everything that goes on land also goes on in the sea, right? So we have fire service, we have ambulance, we have hospitals, we have everything. Police, everything. We have everything in the port. Okay? So when you look to my left, hey, my right, right? That is the fire department. Okay? With the white and red. That is the fire and safety department. So that's the fire and safety department. Okay? And also GPHA, we offer 4 services. How many services?
4 services.
4 services. I'll explain them to you in a bit. So with the first service is vessel handling. First service is what?
Vessel handling.
Second service is stevedoring. Second service is what? Third service is shore handling. Third service is what?
Shore handling.
Last service is conservancy service. So what is the first service? All of you say it. What is the first service? I'll say it again. I'll repeat myself. First service is vessel handling. Second service is stevedoring. Third service is shore handling. Last service is conservancy service. Okay? I'll say it again. First service we offer in GPHA is vessel handling. Okay? Vessel handling. Second service is stevedoring. Stevedoring. Yes. So the second service is stevedoring. Third service is shore handling. Third service is what?
Shore handling.
The last service is what? Conservancy service. So I'll start with the vessel handling. So vessel handling is actually like taking care of all the floating crafts, including the signals or the communication between the vessel and the port okay? So we have so many activities that goes on in the ports, especially vessel handling. As I said, vessel handling is actually like taking care of the floating crafts. Floating crafts are different from ships and vessels, okay? They are like boats. that help the vessel coming into the port. So they're actually different from the ships you see around here. When we go to the marine department, I'll show you all that. Okay, good. And also, vessel handling comprises of the marine department and the marine operations. Okay, sorry, the marine engineering and the marine operations. Okay, so those are the two that fall under the vessel handling. That is the marine operations and the marine engineering. What is the first one? Marine
operations
and marine engineering. They are two different departments. Okay, so I'll start off with the marine operations. The marine operation actually takes, well, it's very simple. It's like when a vessel is coming into our port, right? It sends signals or messages to the signal room, and that's when the signal room we give it the go ahead to come into our port. Okay, that is the work of the marine operation. And they also help the vessel berth. Okay, I'll explain that in a bit. So we have pilotage, we have mooring, we have unmooring, we have berthing and unberthing, and the rest. Okay, so I'll start off with the simpler ones. Pilotage. Pilotage is actually done when a pilot in the port. We term people who actually know how to drive the ship are called pilots. Okay, although we have pilots who fly the plane and everything in the port, we also refer to them as what? Pilots. So a pilot is sent to the incoming vessel through a pilot launch. A pilot launch is a floating craft, and also it is also a boat that takes the pilot to the incoming vessel to help it berth in the port. Okay, do you understand? Should I go over again?
Yes.
Okay. So I said pilotage is the process whereby a pilot is on a pilot's launch and sent to the incoming vessel. When a vessel is coming into our port, it has to wait at the anchorage. The anchorage is a place where the vessel can drop its anchor. Okay, when you're coming into our port or any port in the world, you don't drop your anchor in the port. That's why we have an anchorage. The anchorage is outside the port. It's divided by the breakwater, and the breakwater is there because when you come into our port, the water here is calm. The waves doesn't come into the port. That is due to the breakwater. That is why the breakwater was introduced, to reduce the waves from coming into our port. And as I said, the anchorage, it is where you can drop your anchor. Okay, do you understand?
Yes.
Back to the pilot. As I said, it is when a pilot launch takes the pilot to the incoming vessel to berth. Berthing in the port is termed as parking. So you don't say that ship is going to park, that boat is going to park. You refer to as berthing. Okay, I said refer to as what? Berthing. And unberthing is actually like unparking. The ship is leaving, so it's unberthing from the port. Okay, good. So in this port, we have so many terminals. We have the fleet terminal, we have the transit terminal, we have the bus terminal, we have the engineering terminal and everything. So with the transit terminal, when a vessel comes into our port, brings its goods, I hope you know there are countries in Africa or in West Africa that do not have ports or do not even have sea. Port to be exact. Okay, so those are Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, and the rest. I think Togo is part. So when you look to my right, that's right. That is the transit department, transit terminal. Sorry, that is when goods come into our port. Goods, they went countries that do not have ports. They pass the countries that are bringing their goods into our port. They send it through the transit department, and it goes to countries that do not have ports. So let's say, for example, Burkina Faso, they don't have a port. So we are actually like the middleman, right? So when they order goods or containers from other countries, because they don't have ports, it passes through Tema ports. They pay their fees, their duties and everything. Then that's when we take, it goes to the transit department, they put it on tracks, then away to their various places. Okay, so I've explained vessel handling to you. I'll explain the rest. But for now, we are going to the marine department. Okay, and the boats you see over there are called floating craft. Sit down, you will see it. Don't worry, you will get down. When you get down, you have a very good look at it. So you look to my left, those are floating crafts. Okay, the police boats, the security boats, the tag boats. I'll explain the tag boats when we get down. The diving port one, the tag, I've already said the tag boats, the pilot's lounge, etc. When we get down, I'll explain everything to you. Okay? So,
Form 2 lines. 2 lines. Okay, to have one cry in ye.
Hey, take that thing off. Hey,
She's not the usual.
We're in the travel. Hey, Abigail, you come to learn or you come. Hey, go.
On the one that to be able to front of well.
marine department. Okay, so that is the marine operations at the back. And that is the marine engineering. Okay, the marine engineer, as I said, the marine operation is the signal room. It communicates the incoming vessel, right? Then we have the marine engineering. They take care of all the floating crafts. If there's an issue with the floating crafts, they bring it out, like the one you see over there. On the building tackle on it, they are working on it. So the marine engineers are actually working on it to make it work. That is why they have the marine engineering and the marine department. There are two different departments. Okay. So we have pilots. I told you we have the pilot's land, we have the tag boats, we have the security boats and the rest. So that is the patrol boat. The one at the back is the pilot's lounge. Remember I told you the pilot's lounge takes the pilots, the incoming vessel, to help prepare. That is the pilot's lounge.
The diving port one.
The pilot's lounge. The
diving port one. Wait for the back goes down.
Just, when it's time for them, when the vessel is coming, the vessel sends a message or a signal to the signal room. Then they instruct one of the pilots to go and help bring the vessel into the port with the help of the pilot's lounge. And the patrol boat, you know what the patrol boat does? The patrol car, you know what it does? It patrols the sea to find any criminals or pirates. Okay, and we have tag boats. These are tag boats. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 tag boats over there. So what the tag boat does is it helps pull or push the vessel into the port. With the help of the pilot's launch or the pilot, the tag boat, one pulls and one pushes it. Can you see how small it is? Two of this can pull the vessel you see over there, the ship over there. The Lagos vessel you see over there.
Is it the blue one or the cream one? The cream one.
Oh, the big one over there.
The big one, the blue one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That is a Nigerian vessel.
Is it Lagos too?
Lagos. Yeah, Lagos. Yeah. But that is a Nigerian vessel. Nigeria has a vessel, but Ghana we don't have. Okay. So 2 of these tag boats can bring the vessel you see over there into the port. They are very strong. So it's very simple. One will just push and one will just pull. And it will bring the vessel into the port. So we have what is called bollard and mooring rope. Okay, so that is what keeps the vessel stable. So that is the rope, a mooring rope. So the mooring rope is tied around the bollard. The bollard is the metal thing on the key. I forgot to tell you this. So the key is what we are on now. What the driver was driving on and what cars are driving on now is called a key. It is spelled Q-U-A-Y, not K-E-Y. So same pronunciation, different words.
Spelling.
Yes.
Q-U-A-Y.
Same pronunciation, different spelling. It's not spelled K-E-Y, it's spelled Q-U-A-Y. Okay? So with the help of the mooring rope and the bollard, it keeps the vessel from drifting away. Although, you see, it's on water. Without the mooring rope in the bollard, by the time you realize the ships or the boats are somewhere. Okay? So we have what else? We have people who work in the port. They are called mooring men. They have everything. Okay? We have divers. We have trained divers in the port. That is also there. And we have the diving port one. You can see the diving port one over there, right? So the diving port one, the use of the diving port one is when a container falls into the sea. With the help of the divers and the diving port one, they will be able to recover the container from this. Even if it sinks, it will take it out. Okay? Good. Any questions?
Ask questions.
Yes.
Yes. Why are they names on there?
The reason why names are on the floating craft is because they've contributed massively to the uprise, or they've done something good for us to remember them. Some are dead, some are still alive, or they are either retired or dead. Okay, as you can see here, Santua and the rest. Okay. Any other questions?
We don't actually own the ship, but we do business with the ship.
Any other questions?
The ship, but it was sold by one of your presidents. Yes. Who sold it?
Any questions?
What do you mean? Another wedding?
Okay, so if there are no other questions, you can take pictures. When you're done, then we get back to the bus, then we move to our next destination. Okay? So when she's done, you can take your pictures and everything.
Why do you want to know the person who saw that? What would you do to the person?
Madam, so you said everything. Madam, so you are selling the phone.
Yes.
So, leave it to me.
Shake it. Are you shaking?
Hey.
It's not shaking.
So with reference to what Madam said about the person who, not your mouth. It's only for your words.
Yes.
Not for your word. My young
Alright, any other question? If not. It's a confidential information I have given. Yes. Confidential secret. How you guys are even lucky? This is called what? Banquet. Okay.
So bunkering is the act of fueling the vessels.
So if there are any other questions, you can take pictures.
So here is the Steve Doran.
No. So
Here is
Steve Doran is actually like it's a process where they upload and load cargo. Okay. But here this is the extended jetty. We're actually now on the sea. Okay. We're on the sea. It's called the extended jetty because it's an extension of the port. Here used to be the sea, you just extended it.
Oh, okay.
It's levitating, just that they have holes underneath the key. Okay. So over here, we have dedicated berthing spaces for some companies, such as Dangote, Gassem, yes, the Dangote and Gassem. So you will see a Dangote machine in front. That is a Dangote machine. So that is his designated berthing space. That is his berthing space. So that you will not have any issues. If in case the port is full, you will not have an issue berthing.
Okay, with berthing.
Yes. So that is his. And then Gassem is way at the back. So what they are doing is they are offloading clinker So clinker is the raw material used in making cement. Okay, it's the raw material used in making cement. So when they order or they bring the clinker from where they manufacture it from to Ghana, then they upload it onto trucks and send it to the manufacturing company. As you can see, Gasem and Dangote. So their manufacturing companies are actually around. They are not far. They are not actually far from the port. So you will see that Dangote has a building that stores the clinker to make cement. Okay. And also we have so many types of vessels. Okay. So many types. We have ro-ro vessels. I explained that they transport only cars. Okay, we have ro-ro vessels. We have the dry bulk vessel. That takes just one type of product or goods. So this is an example of them. So if it's taking clinker, it's taking clinker. If it's taking millet, it's taking millet. If it's taking rice, it's taking rice. And we have bag vessel containers. So they take goods that are already bagged, such as rice. Some of the rice that come, it's not bagged. Some of the ones that come, they are bagged. They are two different vessels. Okay, that's what. Those are the types of vessels I've mentioned. There are so many, but I've mentioned about 3 or 4. Remember I told you what the mooring rope and the bullard does. Yes. Right? So you see how the mooring rope is used in the bullard. The mooring rope is tied around the bullard to keep the ship or the vessel stable. You see the one at the marine department. Once it was loose, it was moving around and all that. But over here, it's fastened and tight. And you can see the anchor. See the anchor over there? Right? Have you seen the anchor? Yes. Remember I told you, we have a place where you can drop your anchor. When you're in the port, you can't drop your anchor. It's not allowed. So when you look at the back, you can see there is. We've blocked the waves from coming in. That is the breakwater. Okay, so the rocks over there are called breakwater. It's actually stopping the waves from coming into the port to disturb us. That is why you can see here is calm like that. Okay, if you look at the breakwater, you will see that the waves are hitting it from the back, but not in front. When the driver takes a left turn, you have a closer look of it. That is the breakwater. When we go a little further, I'll show you the entrance of the port. The port has only one entrance, in and out, and then the vessels come in one by one. So if you see the back of the breakwater, you can see ships over there. Can you see them? I see ships far away. That is the anchorage. There you are eligible to drop your anchor. That is where you can drop your anchor at your will. Okay, so they come in one by one. When one is done, it goes out. They send a signal to the signal room, and they are being told to come into the port. That is when the tugboats with the pilot's lounge goes and bring the vessel into the port. The reason because we assume that the captain of the ship, that is the captain of the incoming vessel, doesn't know how to maneuver its way into the port. Okay, that is why it's done. So That is the entrance of the pot. That is the entrance of the pot. Over here, you will see it to be small. When you get closer to it, it's very, very big. That is a breakwater.
So, for how long can a ship stay in the anchorage?
Yes. So with that one, it depends on the captain, or when they are done taking off the goods. That's the stevedore process. When they are done, then they can leave. If they are not done, they are here, and they will pay. The longer you are here, the more amount
you pay. The longer you are in the port, not in the anchorage.
No, not in the anchorage. It's not right.
So that means the longer you take, it means that whatever you are doing here is taking more time.
You have to pay for that time. We are using our port. Remember I told you the waves are hitting the back of the
see,
the breakwater. Yeah. You can see the waves hitting the back of it. When a vessel comes into our port, it has to take off its flag of the country that is coming from and put on the flag of Ghana, or the country it's coming into. So when you look at the top, you can see the Ghana flag. If you look at any vessel, you see it has hoisted the Ghana flag instead of the country that is coming from.
I can't see
that flag would rather be down and always be on top. The rule that is there in every port.
Okay.
So for example, a country like the United States, when they are coming into our country, they will take off the flag of their country and put on the Ghanaian flag. You can see the Ghana flag by there, right?
I can see, but it's not clear.
And not all vessels go into the deep sea. Okay. There are vessels that are eligible to go into the sea because of either the weight or the durability of the vessel. Not all of them can enter the sea. And there are also so many types of containers. For example, we have the reefer containers. We have the what? They keep such as fruits and things that can spoil, meat and all that. We keep them in a refrigerated container. They are chargeable, so we charge them. When they bring goods that are perishable, we put them inside. We keep it for you. When you are ready to come for it, then you come for it.
The ones with the brand Hapag-Lloyd.
Yes, the white ones. All refrigerated containers are white. When you see a white container with a fan that in front, that we are far. Front or at the back, yes. Those are, so you can see the fan and everything. Yeah. That shows that it's a refrigerated container. You remember the tugboats, right? You remember the tugboats? We have 2 tugboats over here. So in total, we have like 5 tugboats. And also, I told you we have so many types of containers. Straight. We have so many types of containers. And one of the containers are geared vessels and gearless vessels. Okay, so geared vessels are vessels that have cranes on them. So for example, this doesn't have crane. So the vessel over there is a gearless vessel. It's an example of a gearless vessel. It doesn't have cranes. So cranes are actually like the metals that take the containers from the ship onto the port, or from the port onto the ship. Okay. And then in every port must have a mobile crane. So you see the big machine over there that is taking the container from the port onto the vessel, right? You can see that, right? That is a mobile crane. Okay, so it's taking the container from the port onto the ship. And what process is that? The process of taking a container from the vessel onto the port, or from the port onto the vessel, is called what? Stevedoring. That is the process. So the big machines that are taking a container from the port onto the ship is called a what? A mobile crane. And you can see this machine that is carrying the container.
The blue one?
Yes, the blue one. That is a reach stacker. That is a what? So it reaches out, takes the container and put them on tracks. So with the mobile crane, it has 80 tires. 80 tires.
Like this blue one?
Yes, this blue one. Those are mobile cranes.
They have a black one?
Yes, mobile cranes. So the ones that have tires are mobile cranes. And those cranes are for GPHA. We own them. So it is done when a vessel that comes into our port doesn't have cranes on them. Remember I told you we have so many types of vessels, such as the mobile crane, such as the geared vessel and gearless vessel, the ro-ro vessel, the dry bulk vessel, the rest. Okay. If you guys would have come months earlier, here would have been empty. Here was actually empty the first 4 months of the year. And the 5th month, right? So the first 4 months,
So we're in the 6th month.
Okay. So the first 5 months, here was actually empty. Okay. Yes. This is a geared vessel. Okay. This is not a ro-ro vessel. Okay.
It has its crane.
It has its crane. It's not a ro-ro vessel. So it is possible the bus you are driving in now might have come from one of the vessels you see. The vessel you see over here carrying the truck and everything. And also there are trucks or buses inside the vessel. And what you see on top, that is not all. There are some inside. So when it's time, the crane will just pick it out. They're just taking the ones in front. Yes. We have female workers over here. I know a female pilot. Okay. At the marine operations, we have a female pilot over there. You can see the buses are sport. We will just bring it to Ghana. The person ordered it. To fix it this way. By the time I realize that SPC bus or school bus or something. And everything, it goes to the Golden Jubilee Terminal, which is outside the port. That is where cars owners to come and identify them and pick them up. Also, the reason why we are wearing reflectors in the port is because we are in an operational area. See how busy the place is, especially the mobile crane, where the driver and the coordinator of the mobile crane is very, very high up. If you look at the top, you can see that there is a place for the place where the man will sit to help operate the mobile crane. So if you are not wearing a reflector and accidentally you drop the container and it falls on you and you find out you are not wearing a reflector, I'm not saying it will happen. It won't happen, I'm just saying it will be at your fault. Although you are dead, it will be your fault. You're responsible for your death. Yes, you'll be responsible for your death because find out that you're not wearing a reflector. That is why when you're entering the pot, you have to wear a reflector. Not all of you are wearing reflectors though, but you're not going to get down soon. You're okay. The pot operates 24/7. There is always someone to operate a machine or do work. You're supposed to get down here, but because here is busy, you can't get down. So the only place you're permitted to align is with the marine operation. No, you can't get down here. Like I said, if you were here 4 or 5 months ago, you would have been able to get down. They are the ones allowed to take their containers in and out of the port, but for the long distance, the trucks you see around.
So you said they are called the
Mafia truck. M-A-F-I. So yes, see how busy the place was compared to the ones here. From afar, you will see the rich stacker to be small, but when you get close to it, very big.
Please, we were left at one.
Stand. When I ask you the question, then you sit down. Yes, stand. The other guy, stand up. Yes. Stand up.
We were left with one more service.
So, let me finish with the last service. I forgot to talk about the last service. So the conserving service is actually like taking care of the basic needs of the people in the vessel or the vessel or the ship. So such as food, water, drinks, bunkering. Bunkering is actually like the refueling of the vessel. Okay? So like when they come into our port, it comes at a fee. You have to pay for it. When you come to the port and you realize that your fuel is low, then we refuel it for you. Okay, you understand? So that's actually what conservancy services, like taking care of the basic needs of the people in the vessels. Okay, yes. So the two boys, the first guy, what year was Temaport built? Who built Temaport? Who built Temaport? No, I want him. Who built Temaport? Who built Temaport? Tema. The pot you are in now, Tema. You want to answer? No, I'll ask you a different question. This is different. Who built Temaport? What year was it built in? I told you to sit down, you didn't sit down. I told you to sit down, you didn't sit down. The second guy. How many services do you offer in Temaport? Mention 2. The first 2 is in order. Mention 2. What is the first service? Okay, mention 1. What is the first service? I said tugboats. Tugboats, yes.
Push what you are smiling.
Pull or push what? Sit down. It helps pull or push the vessel or the ship into the port. Okay? So the tugboats, without boats, pilots land, they are the same thing. Pilots land. Okay, who knows what the pilot does? Who knows what the pilot does? Should I point?
Sir, please, I have a question.
Yes.
Please, I think I knew, I heard that anybody who drives a ship or moves a ship is supposed to be called a captain.
That is a captain.
Oh,
Of the
okay.
ship, but the pilot
Okay.
is like an assistant to the
Okay.
captain of the ship.
Okay.
He's not the one. He doesn't drive the ship.
Oh,
He just
okay.
assists them. Every port has a pilot. That is what the ports. So they are just to help bring the vessel
Into the port. Oh, okay.
They are also called captains. But before you become a pilot, you have to become a
A
captain.
captain. Thank you. So nobody answered the pilot luncheon. More dear.
Thank you for coming to Temaport. Have a nice day.
Thank you too.
Hello guys, you are watching official Kingsbridge TV. Ope lifestyle, Ope talks on history, Ope talks on heritage, culture. The right place to watch official Kingsbridge TV. To YouTube and subscribe to our channel. She said let's talk segment. You will know everything pertaining our rear and planetary and everything you want to know about marriage and relationship. Kingsbridge TV. Moments delivered.